everyone, welcome back. It is Friday Favorites and Flops, and I just moved a little bit over so you can see like this isn't really a different angle, so you guys are probably like, no, not a different angle. But I think the next video I'll film facing the bed, because I know I talked to you guys about how I was gonna film from a different angle. I was just trying this, so you have to tell me how the lighting is, because it's a little bit more not facing the window. The window's over here, and so typically I'm facing like more this way, so now I'm facing this way. But not that it makes that big of a difference, but you guys would just have to tell me on the lighting and if you think things are true to swatch. So okay, I'm going to just get started on my favorites this week. I hope you guys all had a wonderful week. I did get a few new products this week that I've been trying out. Some I've been really loving, so I want to share with you some of those. And then I have some that I pulled out that are Old Faithful. So I'm going to start with the Old Faithful that is a cream contour. I told you guys last week I've really been into pulling out some of my cream products, and I pulled out some of my cream blushes, and now I pulled out a cream contour. This is from Sonia Kashuk, and I got this, I believe, last year. It was known as like a dupe for the Chanel Illusion. No, that's not even what it's called. What am I talking about? Not Chanel Illusion d'Ombre. For the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. Now I have that, and I have to say I like rarely use it because I prefer this. So I really like the color of this one. The Sonia Kashuk bronzer, this is their Rich Bronze is the color, but it also comes, I believe, in Warm Tan. And that color is more of a dupe match in color comparison to the Chanel one. This is a little bit darker, and I just really like the consistency of this. I find that it blends into the skin beautifully. I actually have been using it, so there it is swatched, and I kind of blend it out. It looks orange right there. I am wearing it today. I just love it, and I've been applying it with the Beauty Blender. So I just take like the edge of the Beauty Blender and I go right here, and then I use the other tip that I use to apply my foundation, and I kind of just buff around it so that it melds into the skin, but I still do get like the sharp line. And then I go over and top it with powder product, which I have been using. Another new one, I feel like I've been using a ton of different contour powders or different sets. A lot have been coming out recently, so I've been trying a lot of different ones out. So I have a few favorites. I know I've talked about the Kat Von D one, but I have another new one that I've been topping this with. But I really like laying this down first. It gives a really great base. I find a lot of times when I'm just doing my foundation and I don't put a base for a contour, it does when I'm pushing it into my skin. I find that sometimes when I'm using this type of motion to get my contour on, that I'm disrupting my foundation. So the reason that I thought about, hey, why don't I use a cream product, because I can really work to press that into the skin with the Beauty Blender. But that was my thought process when I was thinking about what can I do to really not get the foundation from being disrupted and really just pressing it into the skin. So that's why I decided to go to the cream product. I remembered how much I love this. It just really stays all day. It's a great product, affordable. You can find Sonia Kashuk at Target. A lot of times if you have the Cartwheel app or other like texting apps from Target, they have some great coupons on there for $3 off Sonia Kashuk products. But like, this is already set. It doesn't feel tacky on the skin. It's just a really great cream contour, especially from the drugstore. And like I told you, I choose this over my Chanel one all the time. So I would really invest in this one if you were thinking about getting the Chanel one. And like I said, they do have two different colors. I do have the Rich Bronze. I prefer that color more. I think it gives a little bit more definition, and I'm very pale. So these two together have been a go-to this week. And on top of that, I told you I got something new, and it's from Marc Jacobs. They came out with a new contour highlight palette. Of course, everyone's coming out, like I said, with these new things. This is called Light Filtering Contour Powder. This is called #InstaMarc, and it's in the color 40 Mirage Filter. I believe there are 3 different options, and this is the option I got. First of all, let's just talk about packaging. It's like the bronzer. I mean, this is humongous. Like, look how big this is. So really, again, big packaging, nice huge mirror on the other side, and the two products inside The contour, the highlight, amazing. These are so finely milled. I can't even tell you. This contour shade is like a, it's like a darker, it's perfect for light skin. It's like a taupe shade, but it blends in really beautifully. I told you I've really been loving the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. This has a very similar color as to the middle color there. So, but look how bright this highlight is. It's perfect for setting under the eyes because it's so finely milled. I have it under my eyes today. I did top it with a shimmery product, but this is a matte highlight. So if you're really not into having a super highlighted cheek because either you're oily and you don't want to add more oil, or you have more mature skin and sometimes the sheen from a highlighter draws attention to your wrinkles or things that you don't want to reflect light, then you might want to try a really matte and brightening powder, and this is the perfect one for that. It's more of a little bit of a like yellow tone, but this highlighter, this highlighter is fantastic. Like I said, perfect for setting concealer under the eyes, but this contour is really a nice one. Again, a really great color, works perfectly. So I set my contour with that and I just love it. And it does kick up a lot of powder, but it's very, very pigmented and it goes on, again, so seamlessly. What I find, once I have that base from the cream contour, topping it with the powder doesn't like disrupt it or make anything patchy. So, and I've used this without the cream contour and it still goes on very, very smooth. So really been liking this, but this was like a new purchase. And I mean, how many contour powders can a person have, you might ask? I don't know. When is the end? But if you guys haven't heard, I haven't talked about it yet. I was gonna do a video on the NYX contour palette. Do I have that out? No, I wasn't. But I was gonna compare it to the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. That NYX palette is horrible. It's not worth it, and it's $25. It's really just not. The powders don't blend in well. They're super patchy. They're overly pigmented, but the formula is just not good. So I thought that there was a lot of people who kind of done that. My friend Cassie from Shades of Cassie did a really great video comparing all three contour palettes. If you're interested, you should check that out. I'll try and link it down below. But yeah, that contour palette is a flop. I haven't showed it, but I've been meaning to tell you guys if you haven't heard. It's bad. So I was thinking of just doing like an updated video, like some of my favorite contour products. Like, what would you guys think about that? But anyways, been loving those products from Marc Jacobs and from Sonia Kashuk for my contour this week. I love them both separately and working together. Okay, for eyeshadow, I pulled out some of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows again. I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. They have so many different colors. I'm thinking of doing like a video where I talk about some of my go-tos from Makeup Geek because I know it's overwhelming. I also have a pigment video where I'm going to show you some of my pigments, but as far as the eyeshadows, I just love them. I have a whole video swatching them. The colors that I've been using this week in particular are this color right here, Cupcake. I have it all over my lid today, and it's a beautiful matte pink color. I really love this color because it blends beautifully, and it's just a really nice mid-tone pink color, pinky mauve shade. I have that again all over the lid. I tried to do like an all matte eye look today of rosy tones. Again, I was watching Cassie. She posted a really great video on like a rosy matte eye, and I loved it. So I pulled out that shade Cupcake because I didn't have some of the colors that she used, but I had been using Creme Brulee, which is another one of my favorites, all week. This is another like go-to of mine from Makeup Geek. It's beautiful transition shade, orangey brown transition shade. I love it in the crease. I lay that down for most of my eye looks. And another shade that I use in my eye look today is right here, and it's like a matte, it's called Bitten, and it reminds me of it's like a matte cranberry shade, and it reminds me of Sketch from MAC, except for it doesn't have any shimmer in it. Maybe it's a satin, but it is just such a beautiful shade right there. So I have those shades on my eyes, and I just love the way the look came out. I just did simple black liner and tons of mascara, and I like the rosy matte look. I think that it just goes with a lot of things. I did post a video, a wantable box, and I used the NARS Duo, which is more of like a peachy color, all over my eyes. A ton of you guys said that you liked that look. There was really nothing to it. I just put one color from that duo all over my eyes, back and forth in the crease, and that was it from that video. But I had so many people say, will you do a tutorial on this look? I'm like, girl, there was nothing to it, honestly. It was just one shadow. So that's kind of what I did today, only with rosy tone shades, but it was more than one shadow. Like I said, I just did a simple black liner today. I didn't even wing it out. And I pulled out Makeup Geek's gel liner in Immortal. I've been using a lot of liquid liner recently, and I've kind of neglected my gel liners. So I figured I would pull this back out. This is a fabulous gel liner. It is smudge proof, budge proof. Once you put it on, it sets there, but it's super creamy and easy to apply. And I pulled out this brush from Sigma. It is an EO6. Do you see how absolutely tiny and small that is? It's so perfect for detail work. So I just used this to get really, really close to the lash line. And again, I didn't wing it out, even though this is called Winged Liner EO6. It would be perfect for wing liner because it's kind of angled and goes to a point and super fine. And so you could get a great wing liner, a precise tip on your wing liner. But I found that it got so close to the lash line. You could even use this to do in your waterline and tight line. It would be perfect for that. So yeah, I've just pulled this back out again. I love Makeup Geek gel liners. They have a ton of different colors and adventurous colors if you're interested in that. But the staple one is the black, and I really like the brown and Mobster, I believe that's what it's called. But yeah, this has been a great duo, especially for me wanting to start using gel liner again. I really like that I can get very, very close to my lash line and be precise, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but you know how you start out with the intentions of just a really small thin line and then you end with this like thick like cat eye? I remember when I was at IMATS, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do like a really thin line to Sarah, and then she looked over a little bit later, she's like, what happened, Laura? And I'm like, I don't know. It got away from me. It got away from me, and I had this like super thick black line, you know, because you mess up over here and you're like, oh, snap. And then you got to go over to this one and like make sure this one matches this one, and then you make this one just a little bit thicker and you're like, oh, you got to go back over here. So yeah, I ended up with like almost black lids after I was done. But I really like this because it alleviates that problem for me, because you can get so precise with this brush. So anyways, been a good go-to. And by the way, I painted my nails, and you guys, I don't really even like to show my nail polish because I have jankety nails. I was watching The Bachelor, and by the way, I feel like he's super boring, and I don't really love anyone on The Bachelor right now, but anyways, I saw Brit, which that's a whole different story. I'm not saying I like that girl because she was a lie face, but she was wearing this like bluish purple color on her nails, and so I went looking and I found this from Julep. I forget the name of it, but I will leave it linked down below. I love this color. It's not completely matte. It has like a little bit of gold shimmer in it. I love it. I love this color. So I feel like I matched what color she was wearing on her nails, and it's perfect because, I don't know, it's just fun. Coming into spring, it's fun. Okay, the last thing that I have that's a favorite, because I don't have a flop this week, but I saw that Sephora started carrying Armani, and I've been really wanting to try the Armani Eyes to Kill mascara. I decided to pick it up. This is the non-waterproof version. I typically pick up waterproof, but it was sold out, so I just went with the non-waterproof version. Really, really like this mascara. It's what I have on my eyes today. It builds a ton of volume, and it's not too wet of a formula. It's got a really nice natural bristle brush, and I just love the way it layered. I love the Chanel Le Volume mascara, but that's not a mascara for everyone, but that gives me massive length and volume in my lashes. That's like my favorite Holy Grail mascara. This gives that a run for its money as far as giving so much volume, being able to layer it, and also giving length. I love this mascara. So I'm not going to talk too much about it because I know mascaras are one of those personal things. I like sometimes more of a wet formula. I have pretty long lashes as it is. So anything to like, and I do like a waterproof kind, but like I said, that does come in waterproof, but I like it to hold my curl. But I do have longer lashes, so I like to build volume in my lashes. That's kind of important to me. Length isn't as important, but I really like that mascara. And like I said, it's not as wet of a formula as the Chanel one. It's a little bit drier, and I do like the brush because it's more of a natural bristle brush. So anyways, that is it for my favorites this week. As I said, I don't have a flop, so I hope you guys had a really wonderful week. Please leave your favorites down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.